Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and I wanted to come up with a video today, but I got an excellent question today about moving to Sweden. Has it changed me? This is from Kenix TV. This is a comment. He says, "New sub, love your videos and your friendly spirit. Thank you so much. Just wondering, moving and living in Sweden, has it changed you as a person? And if that's the case, how and when? Wish you all the best. Good luck with your channel. From a Swedish gaming freak." So I thought about this a little bit today, and I thought, why not do a video on this? Because I think this is very interesting. This is going to be a personal one, because I'm going to go into how moving to Sweden has changed me as a person. And before I moved to Sweden, I was like 6 months out of finishing university. I didn't have I was working my first real job, I guess, but I didn't have the job in my field, and was just kind of learning my place in the world. And when I look back on myself, I was dealing with a lot, and I think a lot of people can connect, and hopefully this resonates with a lot of people. I was just starting to become like a motivated person. I had, in college, and even when I was in high school, I dealt a lot with anxiety, and sometimes a little bit with me, when I would get anxious, it could also make me a little bit like depressed as well. And it made it difficult to do things. I always had a very racing mind, and I always had a lot of energy as well. But sometimes if I was stressed about something, I could just get really lost in those kind of thoughts. And it would make me like a little bit less productive. I think, like, I'm a musician as well, and I think being a musician is a part of this. So at some stage in college, I started kind of trying to understand myself, listening to new music and things like that, really getting to electronic music. And then so it really started kind of working on myself, like what makes me anxious, what helps. For example, running really, really helps me. So that was about a time, like before I moved to Sweden, I started really getting into the running and like the marathon running and things like that. And then deciding to move to Sweden. I felt like if I moved to Sweden, it was going to just kind of have to force me to change. Force me to be in an uncomfortable situation and have to survive. Force me to be there without my family and friends to kind of pick me up. I could get myself into a rut, and, I always had my family there kind of to bail me out. And I think I did accept responsibilities for things, but I also could see myself making a lot of mistakes as well. So when I left the States and came to Sweden, I was kind of just like thrusted in. I was into this new experience that was very, very challenging. And I'll tell you what I've learned about it. But so it was challenging to just be in a new country in general right away, not having my family, and then going through that whole culture shock thing, which maybe I can make a whole video on like what culture shock is all about. But I didn't have any friends at first, and I had to learn how to make friends. It took me about 6 months to make friends. I dealt with a lot of like the cultural issues and things like that, like just understanding how things work. And when you don't understand stuff when you move to another country, you can get really, really stressed out, actually. So here's one thing that I've learned. No matter where you live, like when I was dealing with just like anxiety and things like that, and then I moved to Sweden, that still follows you. Like when you move to another country, some of the problems and issues you need to work on, they're going to follow you until you decide to work on them. Just because I magically came to Sweden, it didn't change that. I still had things I had to work on myself. And I think we all do as people, and I still do later on in life as well. So I'm not like saying that the cure is to move to another country, but obviously putting myself in an uncomfortable environment allowed me to start to gain confidence in myself. And I started to get those little small victories. I still remember two. One is when I went to Copenhagen for a week by myself, and that was back when I think couch surfing was really popular, so I found someone to couch surf with, and they showed me around Copenhagen. And then I went to Barcelona, and I flew there myself, stayed at a hostel for a week and left. And I didn't know anybody else, and I made friends along the way. And I remember like leaving Barcelona and feeling so awesome because I had taken this like giant leap of making new friends, having a great experience. I went to go see Barcelona play by myself, and I started to gain all this confidence in myself. A lot of people that were in the same maybe major as me weren't working in their current field and were doing other work and weren't as happy. Because keep in mind, I moved to Sweden in 2012. You had the 2009 crisis, and I think it had just an effect on everybody, really. And so it really started to get me confidence in myself. However, it took me a few years in Sweden, I think, till I kind of really started to consider taking my anxiety and things like that seriously. And once I started to do that, I just really started to grow as a person. And how it's changed me as a person now is I think I'm a much more understanding person. I think I understand more what's important. Family is really, really important, and you realize that when you move to another country, for sure, that family is really important. I appreciate things a lot more. I'm able to see things from newer and different perspectives. Maybe not always, but I'm able to do that. I feel like I'm more understanding of others. I also feel that this experience has gained me so much more confidence in myself, confidence to take chances. But it didn't always at first, because there would be times where my anxiety would just get huge because, I forced myself in a situation where I didn't fit in anywhere, and I didn't understand the language. And all you want to do sometimes is just fit in completely. And I had to accept that, hey, if I'm going to live in Sweden and be an American guy, I might never 100% fit in. I'm always going to be different. And I used to have this fear of just being different, which might sound silly. Where now I think with having like a YouTube channel, I'm kind of embracing that. All right, I'm a different guy. I live here, but, I'm okay. And that makes me unique and different. And I can share things with the world and with YouTube. So that's kind of how it's changed me for the positive. That said, though, I've missed a lot. I've had family members pass away, and I wasn't able to go to their funerals because I've missed out on occasions with my family life. So there is definitely a sacrifice there. However, I think that most of the changes that have happened in my life, because there's been negative and positive, but I really feel that most of them have been positive. And it has allowed me, for example, I think because I was able to grow as a person, it allowed me to become a better man. And I didn't mean to say that with a question mark, but like a better man and a better person and a more understanding person. I'm active now. I exercise a lot. I love to learn. And most days, I wake up excited. Most days, I find myself searching for the positive and things like that. And there were times when maybe I dated someone and it didn't work out. But when I look back in the past, like when I first came to Sweden, I hadn't really evolved yet as a person. And although I'm really sad that I've missed out on a lot, it has allowed me to change. It has allowed me to be in an awesome relationship with someone that's just fantastic. And I don't think I would have met this person if I had not had this experience, And so when I think about what would have happened if I would have stayed in the States, sometimes it really makes me nervous because I think a lot of my problems that I had to work on personally as a person that I wanted to grow might have not had happened because I was just kind of stuck in the same environment. So moving to Sweden was definitely a catalyst for that, to help me move forward, to help me grow. So I'm so thankful that I've had that. And just shout out to you, I think it's Kenix TV, for this question. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one because most of my audience is Swedish. Maybe you can relate in some way. What I'd like to put you in the comments below, is there anything, I don't know, do you find yourself sometimes dealing with anxiety? I think it's just a normal thing, and I think we can all feel that no matter where we are. And then maybe what helps you deal with it. For me, it's running. For me, YouTube, believe it or not, just putting myself out there more. Maybe that's not why I do as many videos outside, as I prefer to sit in front of a camera and talk. But just having this outlet alone and knowing that people are going to comment on my videos and watch them blows me away. So, I mean, I'm so thankful for my audience, actually, you guys out there. It's awesome. I don't know if I can always do it, upload as much as I want to, but I feel like I'm still able to be as consistent as possible, which makes me feel really, really good. You can follow me on social media, my links below. If you like this one, please give me a like. And don't forget to feel free to subscribe if you are new. You never know when I'm going to pick your video, like I did with Kenix TV here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.